Alexandra and Scott Wickfree and Dorothy and Rick Thurman. And we're going to be asking them a few questions today.
And this is Cass Salidas.
Yeah, also a Scentsy leader. Well, I'm not going to be answering questions, so I didn't need an introduction.
Well, we might ask you a question, you never know.
Oh, yeah, we switch it up. So first, I want to hear about you guys. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. Do you have children? When did you join and what's your level?
Okay, I'll let you speak.
Wow, there's like lots of questions. We are the Wickfrees. We are based in Ireland and Europe because we're moving to Spain thanks to our Scentsy lifestyle. We joined day 1 in Europe, so we're consultant 5, and we are superstar directors. Yay!
Yay!
And we work this business
And
around our
you got your
family.
1000th team member today, right?
I know.
Oh, awesome. And we worked really hard for that. We can't wait to get number 2000.
Yeah, that's
next
our
week.
goal next. Yeah.
So I'm Scott, and I work my business with Alexandra, and we think it's awesome. So
We do.
has that answered your question?
Yes,
Cool.
thank you. So moving on to Dorothy and Rick. Tell us where you're from. Do you have children? When did you join and what's your level?
Okay, we're Rick and Dorothy Thurman. We're from Highland, Utah, and I started my Scentsy business in October 28th, 2005.
Wow, 2005.
I'm consultant number 166.
And we are Superstar Directors. You've been we've been Superstar Directors since
2007.
I believe 2007.
Awesome.
So I think we're in the top 10, one of the first 10 Superstar Directors for Scentsy, right?
Yes.
Amazing.
So, and then I started actually working with Dorothy full time in 2009. So quit my jobs and got rid of the 9-to-5 grind.
How cool is that?
And then we have 2 girls, Marissa and Miranda, and 2 boys, Josh and Derek.
Awesome. Okay, so what were your fears starting and how did you overcome them?
Oh, wow. I think the biggest fear is the fear of rejection. I think it's that whole, no one's going to buy anything, everybody's going to take the mickey out of my business and call it a pyramid scheme, and you're going to fail. Basically, it's that whole fear of failure thing. I don't know, what were you scared of?
My biggest fear was having Alexandra at home full time. Well, I got over that fear. No, my biggest fear was the feeling of failing again because we've already had businesses which went under. So this kind of had to work for, and I still, 5 years in, and doing very well. I still have that fear of what if this happens.
How did you guys overcome your fear throughout your business?
I keep a positive mindset.
I think you just have to accept that the magic happens when you get out of the comfort zone. So you just have to get out there and do it, and you have to learn to accept that failure isn't a bad thing. As Richard Branson says, you have to fail forward. So actually, failing is a huge part of being a successful business owner. No business owner has not had huge failures.
And I can honestly say, from running businesses since I was 22 years of age, I'd say we have failed our way to success.
Yeah, we have.
So failing is good. So don't be scared of that. Just get on with it and keep learning from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we can end on that note.
So, what were your guys' fears starting being newer consultants for the company, and how did you overcome those fears?
I think like Scott and Alexandra with us, it was we'd had businesses that had failed, and so the anxiety of starting another business, and then trying to keep it going was a fear. And then Dorothy has a tremendous fear of speaking or doing anything public, so the smile on her face, the smile on her face is just a kind of a facade because I'm sure she's terrified right now. But,
Right. I'm the exact same way, so I definitely get that.
Probably that was our biggest thing, was just the fear, and for us too, the company was so new that
Right.
we had absolutely no training materials.
Right.
So everybody was kind of learning at the same time and together all of us.
You probably were
Us
introducing
old-time.
Scentsy to everybody.
Yeah,
you needed.
it was crazy. Everybody would say, wick-free candle, a wickless candle. How can a candle be wickless?
Right,
You know, a candle by definition, you think is a wick.
right.
So it was a really hard concept for people in the beginning to even fathom. You know, what a wick-free, that's a warmer. That's not
Right.
that's a potpourri thing.
I think
You know,
we
and
have it made nowadays. We can literally just say, "Hi, I'm a Scentsy consultant," and people go, "Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I
I'm
mean,
looking
it's
for
so
someone."
well known now.
Right.
You guys.
And then
Yeah.
we got,
We call it.
Yeah.
we got the same thing. Well, you're doing a pyramid scheme, and the best way I can explain that to people and to understand is it's like, well, when you're working out in the workforce, you're a worker, and then you have a foreman or a manager, and then that manager has another manager, and then it goes up to the vice president and then the president. And to me, that looks dang near like a pyramid.
Right, except you can
And
never
it's
be that
it's no
top
different.
guy.
So yeah, no
I guess
different.
you can.
Other than you'll never be the owner of that business
Right.
you're working for. Well, this
Yeah.
business you are. So
I'm going to answer that too, actually, because you guys both said two of the same answers, and I actually expected the number one fear I find with people is that you don't know enough people. You probably hear that all the time. I can't sell because I don't know enough people. And I actually had that fear before Scentsy, my very first business. People came, they didn't shop. They, came in, checked out everything, said, okay, thanks, and left. So with Scentsy, that was kind of my fear, even though I had known a few people starting new people off. I was very scared that they wouldn't know enough people. But of course, we all know through the wonderful world of Facebook, even people you don't know, you end up knowing, and they do become some of your best customers. So I just wanted to throw that fear out because I do hear that a lot. That, again, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not knowing enough people. There's all just kind of lumps into one. Of course, you're just automatically believing you aren't going to do well with it. My next question was, is your Scentsy business your only income, and or do you work outside the business?
No, we don't. We are very fortunate that we have built a Scentsy business that now supports us and our family, allows us to travel globally. We spend an awful lot of time moving around from one country to the other to work with our team. We believe that the team that plays together stays together, so we will go and meet our team face to face. And this year alone, where have we been? Been to America.
Our baby's 2.5 and she's been on over 70 different
Yeah, we've
flights.
been to Mexico.
Did you say 70?
On a
I said
cruise.
70, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
on a cruise into America, into Turkey, into Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Dubai, America, and
Amazing.
Canada. 10 countries.
Canada.
Canada! And that's all with our Scentsy business, and that is just to go and see people. You can make this your only income. You can have lots of time, but it does take work. I'm not saying it takes hard work, because I think we have a lot of fun with our business, but you don't get anything for nothing. So you do have to work, but we made it work, didn't we, from
We did.
very early
And on the go.
and
At
on the
that.
go. Yeah. I think you design the business to fit what you want from life. We like to travel.
We like to meet different people.
like to
we
meet people. So we have a business where we travel. We created our own business that pays us to travel. Other people create businesses where they can have fancy cars and big houses and other stuff because that's what they want.
Right.
So it's very flexible.
I agree, and I,
I
do
was thinking
like
more
that.
Angela with the big house and the fancy cube.
Right. I agree on that. That's a great answer because we've kind of done the same thing. We obviously want to travel, and other Scentsy couples through the business have inspired us, as well as Shane and Amber, other friends of ours, to be able to pick up and go. And, life is too short to overthink these trips and stay in one place. There's a whole world to be
After all this traveling, I definitely need a holiday, I think, next week.
Yes. We're going to need a holiday from the holiday.
You need to sort me out a holiday, yeah?
Oh,
and after they're gone from our house, then we're gonna need a holiday.
Yes, definitely. I don't think that Rick and Dorothy knew what they were signing up for.
Well, Rick's put on 20 pounds since we started.
he's gone grey while we've been here.
My hair used to be brown.
Just 5 days ago.
Week.
He did a brown hair 5 days ago. I'll vouch for that. So same thing. So it's Scentsy your guys' only income, or do you work outside the business?
So Scensy's been our only income since 2009 when Rick came on full time because he closed out his other businesses and came on full time. But as of recent,
Yeah, a few years, well, I guess a year or so ago, I started doing some consulting work, and just recently opened up a composite shop I do a lot of carbon fiber type stuff. Now that we've been very fortunate, like Alexandra and Scott, and blessed with our business, in that our business has been very successful over the years, and actually the business has allowed me to chase one of my dreams with a composite shop, and it
awesome.
funds the composite shop. I mean, I haven't really done much. I mean, I've done a lot with it, but it's still funded by our Scentsy business.
Which is amazing.
So it's an amazing thing that you can do with your Scentsy business if you work it as a business and
Generate income to be able to
turn
put
it
into something
a
else.
business,
Yeah.
So very fortunate.
Definitely smart too, considering you can, have many sources of income over time. They say the average millionaire has 7 sources of income, something along those lines. So I'm sure
It'll allow you the opportunity, if you want, to diversify.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if it's something that you want to chase, or Scentsy's a great business in and of itself. But for me, anyway, I have an engineering background, so I kind of felt like my mind was going to mush a little bit,
Right.
and so I just needed
and with the
something.
freedom you were able
Yeah,
to.
and like I said, fortunate enough that Scentsy allowed me to chase that dream, and build that business as well. And
Awesome.
so it's a great opportunity.
Great. Okay, so what success tips do you have for those watching? Alexandra and Scott.
Oh, Scott, what's your biggest success?
My biggest success tip is not to overthink things. If I'm absolutely honest, now no offense to any sense consultants watching this business is pretty simple. And the reason it might not be working out for you is because you're, number one, probably not working it, and probably you're not doing the same things, simple things every single day. Once you get what works for you, all you have to do is just keep repeating it, keep improving it. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. It's not. You don't have to be. You don't have to have a university degree. You just have to work hard and repeatedly do the things which work well every single day.
Consistency.
It really is that simple.
Consistency is key. And the other thing is positivity. I mean, I have consultant A and I have consultant B, and consultant A is talented and bright with a great personality and a negative attitude. And I have consultant B who is full of worries and woe and is scared and is timid, but is positive and excited. Actually, consultant B is going to go on and do more because consultant A is negative. So every single time she has a speed bump, she's going to moan, she's going to complain and tear her business down, and she's going to she's going to write it down to her customers and to her teammates, and she's going to pass that negativity down. But consultant B is learning all the time, growing in confidence, being excited about her business, and who's positivity P. Positivity attracts great things. So I would say be a positivity P and surround yourself with positive people. If your family and friends are not as positive as you would wish, you don't have to can them because they're family and friends. But you can section off your life, and you can kind of pull away your sense of business from these people. Find like-minded people. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang with.
Perfect
So I'm
example.
the sum of these 5 lunatics.
Perfect example.
There's a good mix there.
Yes.
6 with the cameraman.
6 with the cameraman.
They told us that our answers were supposed to be on a 1-minute time limit.
Overachievers here. I agree on that. And I will say, what's the saying goes that hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. So as we know, there's many talented leaders, consultants that come into Scentsy and sometimes struggle in their business because they get into kind of a slump of things. And I will say that if you continue working your business like you're trying to become a certified consultant from day one to day forever, you will see success consistently. They gave you that. That's exactly, I would say, the exact same thing on that. So for you guys, what success tips over the last 11 years can you give?
So for us, because we have been in Scentsy a long time, and believe it or not, we still have to work the business, and we
Right.
still have to work the business every day. one of the biggest things I can say is if you want to turn this into an avenue for independent, financial freedom, work it like it's a business. It's a career, it's a business, and work it like that, not just a hobby.
Right.
And you have to continue to do that and to be positive. And the one thing I will absolutely hit on is don't worry what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Don't worry about Sally X's bio and what don't spend a week on what she put in her bio that you're gonna fret over or worry about. Worry
Right.
about yourself.
Right.
And just keep positive. And what would you say?
I'm with you. Stay positive.
And there are so many
They took
ways.
my answer.
So many ways.
Which answer did we take?
Yeah.
You could probably say it better.
No, I can't.
There's so
You
many
said
ways.
birthday.
There's so many ways. Some people do it with basket parties. Other people do it with Facebook parties. Other
Right.
people do it online. There are so many avenues,
To make it work.
that you can make it work.
Yeah.
And we may not be able to do house parties like somebody else,
Yeah.
Right.
but we know how to do basket parties very well. We know how to do, some online stuff or whatever
Right.
that
And
is.
I feel like we gotta all be constantly learning what's the next newest biggest thing. I feel like even in the 3.5 years we've been, consultants with Scentsy, we have learned through Scott how to YouTube, and then how to live video, and then how to do live Facebook parties. So obviously the evolution of things is always changing, and if you're stuck going, this is how I work my business, this is the only way I work my business, I don't want to learn what anybody else is doing because this is what's working for me, that's not going to get you to where you want to be. You're not going to break out of your sole income that you're already making, and you're not going to see magic. So
Especially if you're expending time
right.
worrying about everybody else. That's
Right.
that's the thing. If
What
most
you
people
focus on.
if most people would just work their business like they were expending the time on whatever they're worried
Right.
about, they would have a successful business.
Right, what you focus on will have your focus. So I say that all the time. Definitely. And if you're going to focus on other people's business, try to, almost like you're shopping, kind of try to put things in your own cart. I say all the time, if I'm watching other leaders like this, I'll look at what are they doing that I like, and I'm just going to add it to my cart, and then I'm going to have all these different ideas of what I'm going to do, and then I'm just going to kind of check out where this is. I'm going to try to YouTube, and and I may not excel at all of them, but I know that at least I'm trying every avenue to find what works, and then I'm going to keep doing that consistently. So I'd never done videos before. One of my teammates started doing them, and we were like, great, we're gonna start doing videos too, when we can. And now I'm live videoing a couple times a day. I mean,
Oh, we know.
right. Loving all of that.
See, we're kind of old school, so to me the video thing and the live feed thing is something different. And
Right.
and you guys really excel at it.
Rick's got an iPhone 7 this week. Isn't that
He
right?
is.
Yeah, we're trying to talk him into
So
one.
you're gonna catch some live feeds from him and Dorothy, I'm sure,
Yeah.
soon enough.
Probably against our will, but I'm just kidding.
You know what? Really, you do really have to step out your comfort zone to make things work. If you don't, you're just going to find a mediocre lifestyle for yourself, which if you're content with that, that's okay. But if you want greatness, of course, God didn't put you here to be mediocre. He put you here to do great things, to inspire others to do great things too. So with those
Ask them
success
the next
tips,
question
yeah.
instead of them first, because
I was kind of trying. They are very
They keep
video
taking it.
inclined, and
Okay.
yeah, I've been trying to do it so that it warms
Dorothy
them
has
up.
to answer this one.
all right.
Okay,
next.
awesome. So what has Scentsy done for your life? I'm sure we've listed a few
Dorothy.
things, but it's almost like what has
Wow.
it not?
Wow.
You can list maybe certain trips you can,
You know,
it's from
it's
your
for us-
house to.
Probably like you guys in the beginning, travel was just a real novelty, and we hadn't done a ton of it before, and we did so much of it that wow, we just, to be honest with you, we don't travel a whole lot anymore.
No.
Just anymore. But because of Scentsy, we were able to go and do almost anything we want, and now we can do
We can do a lot of
almost anything
that we
and
want.
everything that we want, and include our children
Right.
and our families, and it's no worries. That's the thing. I mean, you worry sure about day-to-day things, but I can tell you the stress. Well, I had a heart attack in 2009, right?
On an incentive trip.
On an incentive trip to San Francisco, and it was right at the time my other businesses were really failing and causing me a lot of stress. And with Scentsy, it's amazing. It's not that it's stress free, but I'll tell you, our life changed for the better. Now we're spending time with our kids.
Awesome.
You know, we take Marissa to school every day. Dorothy
Awesome.
picks her up every day. We were able to do that same thing almost with Miranda as she was growing up. And it's
Great.
just an amazing lifestyle. It's freedom.
That's
Right.
great.
It's freedom.
Freedom,
Ultimate.
freedom without a cost or a chain attached to it.
Yep, I agree, definitely. Well, now you guys get to be number 2, so
Okay.
they took your answer.
Well,
I'll have to think of something
What's
now.
the question again?
What has Scentsy done for your life? It's almost like what has Scentsy not done, but we're going to go with what Scentsy
Oh, I
has
don't
done.
know. It's allowed me to have a lot of plastic surgery and beautiful hair. No, it hasn't.
As you can tell by
You
her
see,
great eye.
I'll tell you what it allows you to be, and this is authentic. You know, I've a bad eye. My
Your
hair's
eye
up in
actually
a
looks
bun.
great right now.
Yeah, it's looking really great, like
It
1.5
does.
eyes. It allows you to be authentic. It allows you to be you. It allows you, like, I was always the square peg in the round hole. I was always the person who, there's a saying from Marianne Williamson, which is, who are you to not shine brightly? Yeah, isn't it? Well, I can't quite think of the saying when I'm on the spot, but, you know,
It says, who are you to be gorgeous, fabulous, talented, and successful? And it says, well, actually, who are you not
to be. You know, I worked in places where I would excel, and I don't mean that in a big-headed way. I would just set my mind to do something, and I would do it, and I would do it really well, and I would have great success. And people don't like great success, and so it would lead to bullying. And you would slowly hide away, whether it be in the family environment or the work environment. You would hide your light, and you were not allowed to shine as a person. So these last 5.5 years has been about me learning to shine, and that it is okay to shine as children do, and also to bring our child up to shine as a child should. And that's what it's given me. It's given me the chance to be me.
Confidence.
Yeah, just be accepted for being me. And it's, you know, there's a saying, I used to walk in the room and worry who liked me, and now I walk into the room and they should worry whether I like them. And that is the greatest thing.
Love that saying.
It helps you to just love yourself, and that's really what it's brought to me, and I can teach that to my team. That's what both of us do, is we spend our time helping our team to create belief in themselves. It's a huge gift. So that's for me.
Anything you want to add?
And me personally, Scentsy has done 2 things now. Forget about the financial rewards and all the trips. Scentsy has, number 1, my lady when we first joined was in deep depression. She was, no offense, she was miserable, moody. When I first met her, she was this bright, bubbly lady, and for several reasons, she was in a deep depression. She was in a deep hole. And I tried my very best to get her out of it, and Scentsy did quite a lot of work for me, and I'm very grateful that Scentsy brought her back to me, which was great. So that's great. And number 2 is, one of the biggest things many fathers regret on their deathbed is they didn't get to spend enough time with their kids growing up. So I'm extremely grateful that I've spent, apart from when I got to great places like Utah, but basically 95% of my daughter's life I've spent every single day with her, which is something I am extremely grateful for, and something I can't buy. It's something no job can give me, and it's something from working past businesses they can't give me either.
Yeah.
So thanks to this business, it has given me the time.
She's
spend
going
with
to
my
school,
daughter.
and we're sad because she'll be leaving us for longer than we leave her. And we're like, we're not ready for you to go to school yet. You're supposed to stay home with us all the time. Like, what are you going to do with the 6 hours a day that we now have?
So that's my 2. You know,
Yeah.
the financial gain's great, the holidays are great, but you can't buy time, and Scensy's given me that time to spend with my 2.5-year-old daughter.
Well,
So
and the other thing I wanted to touch on too, and I kind of didn't, was that when you get to a point in your life, and you guys are still quite a bit younger than at
You.
least me. You start to kind of wonder, what are you here for, and what's your purpose? And so for us, I don't know how to even explain it other than a feeling that Scentsy gives you when you're able and you're blessed and can bless other lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you have that
In the
opportunity,
business of changing lives.
when you have that opportunity to be able to help someone, and it may not even be a Scentsy person, you may not have them join, or you may not introduce them at all to Scentsy, but there are many things that we've been able to do to help and bless other people that normally we would never never have been able to do that without Scentsy.
Right.
So
Sometimes just even your online presence, I feel, is so positive. I've had people reach out that have been going through divorces or something, personal in their lives, and have said to me, "Thank you so much for your post. Just makes me feel so good." And yet, that's just Scentsy making me feel good that I want to share, things that have kind of touched me or my business or our family that I share, maybe totally unrelated, that it's helped them get through things. So not always financially are we saying that, of course, Scentsy has made us feel better, but we're able to, because we're able to be our authentic selves, that we're able to kind of shine so bright that it makes other people feel good too. So, thank you so much, you guys, for sitting down, taking a couple minutes with us.
I know, over about an hour and a half.
If you like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Do you have anything else?
Any final closing statements before we go watch a movie in the theater?
I would say if you're looking for a direct sales company, Scentsy is amazing. However, I would definitely advise that pick a business where you have a real passion for the product. Be that Scentsy, yes, absolutely. All of us would love to help you start a business, each one of us. However, find the business with the product that you love, and you will never work a day in your lives.
Yes.
yeah, and once again, we're number 2. So
So on that note, thank you for watching, and subscribe to the channel above. And if you have any questions, reach out to any of us, and we would be willing
And a big thanks to
love
the
help
awesome
you.
cameraman.
Yeah, thanks, Ollie, coming down,
You're welcome.
Yes.